Hello all. Today I'm going to explain about AWS RDS. So RDS means you guys know that relational database. Okay, so it's a database service. So why we go for in AWS RDS? Because we have a lot of benefit from in AWS when use that. So what they are it's like relational database service. It makes it easy to set up, operate and scalable your related database, and it provide the cost effective. It will be there in that you can scale it in different many replica sets. Okay, this is the purpose we go and use it. So if you see here is a time consuming and resizable of the capacity, and administrative tasks like hardware you no need to provision, database setup and patching and backups you no need to do. Backups, when we have option is selected, it will take it automatically. So it will be in structured and schema based storage. So this is like a sample diagram how it is the database work, those things. Okay, so there is a key concept. Okay, it's a master replica is there, and we can do that in the same database. We can do it in a cross region replica as well, and you can keep the snapshot. You can do the clustering. You can clone the database. You can restore from S3, and you can use the reserved instance. Means next 3 4 years you are paying the advanced level itself and reserving the instance. Okay, so database instance you are reserving. So this is the few benefits. Okay, so in RDS, there is a different kind of flavors are there in the. This is like Amazon Aurora. Amazon Aurora is inside is there. So inside there is in market these kind of flavors are there. MySQL, PostgreSQL, SQL Server, Oracle, Amazon Aurora, MariaDB. So let's go and explain what is that. Okay, these are the some key benefits from lower administration, lower burden, general purpose, okay, storage availability, durability, backups, these all the things, and cost effective, only pay as you go model. Okay, let me explain about in how is RDS works. So this is my AWS RDS service. So I'm going to create that RDS, okay. So when you create the RDS, see there is a two ways we can create, standard create and easy create. So if we are learning purpose, we have to create in standard create. So if you take here, so database engines, if you see here, so AWS also is providing, Aurora is AWS based one. If you use the AWS based one, it will be most powerful and most compatible. Okay, it will give more replicas, and your performance also, it will be very performance issues, we can avoid it. So that's why we go and use it in AWS related one. So I worked on most of the time is a PostgreSQL compatible. So I'm going to use this one. So when you use that in a PostgreSQL, so this will be up to, you will get in 128 of TB of auto scaling will get SSD storage, and 6-way replication across the 3 availability zones, up to 15 read replicas within replica lag is under 10 milliseconds. So in the auto monitoring with failover also it will work. For example, if I see the Aurora MySQL, if we see here, up to 128 of TB of auto scaling. So when in the AWS, whatever they give Aurora both is a MySQL compatible and PostgreSQL, post similar is till 128 TB of auto scaling will be there. And 6-way of replica setting, all class 3 availability zones, up to 15 replicas, read replicas within lag of under 15 milliseconds, auto monitoring. So I want to go for here, same features will get here also. If you see in other one, other MySQL, if you see here, support database size up to 64 TB. So this one is Aurora will support 128 TB. And support automatic backup and time recovery. Okay, this will support. And support is a 15 read replica per instance within a single region, 5 read replica across cross regions. So it means some disadvantages also there. So based on your compatible, your company choose, you can go it. There is 8 databases we have. Okay, so this is the community version is there, so you can choose it. So I want to go for in AWS PostgreSQL, because when you go for in inside a built one in AWS, there is a performance issues and all, it will reduce. So these are the availability versions. I will take from n minus 1. For example, current version is this one. Minus 1 means this is the one I need to take. Okay. So always your companies, you have to take n minus 1. N minus 1 means if it is any bugs are there, that was already fixed. After only it will upgrade to new version. So I am taking this one. Okay. So this is actually when you are creating that real time your application, you always select in production. So now I am doing for testing purpose, I select only the Dev1 test. Okay. This is eligible for free tier. In real time, you have to select in production. Okay. While you are creating the Dev environment also, you have to select in production only. Okay. Let me give my cluster name, my DB cluster name. Okay, so my cluster name I am giving SRHDB cluster 1. So my SRHDB, yeah, SRHDB cluster 1, okay. And my master username I'm keeping same thing, but is in real time you can change it, okay. PostgreSQL, I'm keeping one notepad also, this one. So when you are creating your username passwords, it should be in careful. And one more thing is there is a two ways to keep your password. One is that AWS Secrets Manager. When you enable that AWS Secrets Manager, you have to create the new secret, new key, and you have to add it. Okay. So why we are using the AWS Secret Key Manager? When you are using a secret key, every 7 days your password will be auto rotated. So it will be no one will hack your keys. Okay, that is the purpose we are using for in AWS Secrets Manager. So you can create your key and you can add it here. For example, let me show you. Now I am not going to create. I am going to explain you how is the keys are working. So I am creating the key. So semantic and asymptotic, there is a two algorithms are there. So which one you are comfortable? So both are similarly. There is a little features will be there. So most of the time we used to go semantic. Okay, so it will go to next. So endpoint you have to give your database name, your password details. Okay, something I will give. I am not going to create this one. Just typed it. So next. See, you select in which one you want to key administrator. DB, select in elastic load balancer. You select in elastic load balancer like that. Okay, next. Selecting key user. Okay, Sampath I am selecting. Okay, next is the review and create it. This is called as a secrets creation. Okay, finish. So now I am not creating, I am canceling this one. Okay. So I will use for in my own password here. So there is a two ways here also, auto generated password or master password. I will use for master password. I am giving some master password here. See, master password and you never ever say to anybody. Okay. There is a two types of configuration options we have. One is the Aurora standard and another one is Aurora input output optimized. So this is a cost effective. This is a predictable pricing and it will be auto scaling also. So I am going for this example purpose. I am going for in Aurora standard. So in here, one more catch, okay. In PostgreSQL, so in recently AWS identify they have created, you can use it in serverless also. When you use the server, there is a two ways, server and serverless. So now I'm going to create in serverless. So when you want to use the server, so like that your instance will come. So how much space you want, based on the space you can create it. Okay, how much is the CPU and RAM? But when you are creating the database, it's required for its bigger space only. Okay. And I'm giving the serverless now. Okay, if there is a three memory optimized class, burstable class, and optimized read classes. There is a many ways you can create. Okay. So always you go for in the memory optimized. Okay, because of this are you can see that bigger instances Okay, TV CPU 16 GB RAM, network is 4750 Mbps. Okay, so in optimized read access means it will be different. Okay, based on your company requirement, you can go that. So now I'm decided to use it as a serverless V2. So I'm going for in serverless. When you use the serverless, you have to set up your capacity range, minimum and maximum. So I just gave the default value. Okay. So you can select here is a multi availability. Okay. Multi MZ hour means your whenever is the database down, it will be available in two reasons. Okay. If you give the multi. Okay. So connectivity. So now is here is one more catch. I want to connect my EC2 instance resources. So I am refreshing here. So I have is three resources here. I am connecting here. Okay. So it will be connecting one. So instead of that, you can use that in a different way, any other option. Okay. Like auto scaling, those things and all you can use. But it's when you are might be you can use it in load balancer name also. Right now is so we don't have that. So I'm selecting this instance 3 and network is IPv4. Okay. Virtual network is my test VPC automatically selected. Two availability zones automatically selected. Okay. And DB subnet we don't have. Auto setup DB subnet we don't have. So we will create the new DB subnet. Okay, public access always never ever give to public access to your database. If you give the public access, someone will hack it. Always you will choose it in the private access only. Okay, it means the public access, no. Okay, you are always in, you could get in security issues also. So always ever choose to public for in your database. Always you can choose as a private. Okay, so VPC security groups, create new or existing one. Okay, so I have already security group. I use that one. Okay, now, so my RDS will add in VPT security group. Okay, this is my RDS certificate authority. As usual, I am keeping that. Okay, so this again is the additional configuration. If you go, this is our port 5432 and so there is IAM database authentication. Those and all I gave it in automatically. Performance insights is automatically. See, this is the one catch here. So your snapshot has to take it every day. So I'm keeping it in default as a 7 days in free tier. So in real time also will give the 7 days. For how it is work, for example, today I have created the database. So tomorrow it will take entire snapshot. But when you are taking that snapshot from day after tomorrow, yesterday, tomorrow will take in full backup, right? Well, and after that, once you have created database, that time almost, if it is the second day, if you want to take the backup, right? Only it will take the incremental. It will not take entire the again database. Okay. Only incremental only will take. So this is the interview questions. So always your database will should keep in private and retention period is 7 days. So this is my default key management system. I gave that KMS, I gave it in default. So this is my account. Okay. You cannot change the KMS key after enabling the performance insights. Okay. So now I don't want to give keys. Okay. Enter key. Okay. I don't have key errand. So I'm just keeping as usual. Okay. Additional configurations. Database name. So this under 7 days. See, this backup is 7 days as we discussed. And enable encryption. See, always your database should be encrypted. So means your data will be, everything will be encrypted inside. So you just no need to do all those things. It should be enabled to your encryption. Okay. So, okay, one question here, you got it. You get a question, right? Is the 7 days backup means it will today will it will take tomorrow whatever time we schedule will take the backup. Next day again is it will next day it will take in full backup and the other day it will take in incremental. Okay, so 7 snapshot will keep it. Remaining is the 1/8 day. What will happen? First snapshot will delete it, and next 7 days it will keep it. So total is 7 days snapshot will keep it. For example, anytime your first snapshot itself, it will be all the data will be there. But you want to go for next 5 days, 6 days, that means you can go it. Okay, this backups are stored in S3 bucket. Okay, so this PostgreSQL logs and all, if you want, you can select this one. Now I don't want, that's why I'm not selected anything. Okay, maintenance window, enable auto minor version upgrade. If you want, you can do it. Otherwise, you no need to add it. Okay, so remember one more catch here. So deletion protection, when you enable the deletion protection, if someone is accidentally deleted also, it will not delete. If you have not done this one, it will delete. When someone is deleted accidentally, it will delete it. So now this is for test environment, testing purpose, so I'm not doing this one. Okay, in real time you have to do that. To deletion protection, it should be enabled. Okay, so I'm going and creating my database. Okay, so this master password and the involved master password cannot contain any following. Okay, a single shot. Okay, I'm giving some random name. So now I'm going to create that. So my database is creating. So okay, so this is a connection. It is not taken in connection. That's fine. Okay, leave that one. Okay, my database creating here. Yeah, so my database success, if you see here, message successful is created. So let me, so cluster is created and remaining is two availability zones. So actually it will create a write instance and reader instance. So write instance is already creating, writer and reader is creating. Okay, meanwhile, so you can see here is a connectivity and security. This is our endpoints. So, okay, this when you are creating your data, when you are connecting to your database. So for SQL reading purpose, you can use the reader instance. And when you are, for example, support team, those people, they can use that in reader instance. And writer instance only is the development purposes. So administrator only will use. DB administrator. DB administrator, while giving that DB administrator, we need to give admin password and all, password and user ID password and all we need to give. So we didn't add it any IAM roles here. Okay. So monitoring also you can do here. See, when is it will, now it's, we don't have any monitoring, but you can use, see that here is the monitoring here. Okay, and logs and events. So no logs and all, right? So we don't have logs. Okay. See, if you see here configuration, see your engine service is 15.5 version, your resource ID, see your DB cluster name, and this is the DB cluster parameter group. This is your master username, password will be secret. See, here is a KMS is encrypted and added. Okay, so your encryption also enabled. So your data will be inside the data, everything will be encrypted mode. And you having two availability zones. One zone is deleted also, other zone will get. So this is your ARN for your this DB cluster. Okay, let me check and let me refresh again. Still it's creating because it will take some time to create that in RDS. Yeah, so I'm going to explain few more things here. If it is once snapshots are started, so you can see here, and you can export your snapshot to here also, your S3 buckets also. Okay, here is your subnet groups. So this is your custom VPC. This is your ARN for, and these are your databases. If you see any events, you can see here. Okay, this is our instance and this is a cluster. So if you want to update any certificate, you can export here these certificates. And this is our query editor. Okay, so now I don't want any query editor. This is your databases. Still it's creating the databases. See, if we see here, configuring, enhanced monitoring, everything is doing. Okay, so once it's created, you can see your connectivity. See connectivity for in this cluster. This instance, okay, DB cluster instance, okay. This is our endpoint name. This is your endpoint. DBNA, this is the port. Availability zone 1A. Okay, so this is a multi-availability zones, okay. Okay, this is our VPC. This is our subnet groups. This is our network IPv4. This is our VPC security group. Publicly accessible. If you see here catch, publicly accessible, no. Your certificate authority, this is the RDS certificate authority. And certificate authority date is this one. And date instance expire date is this one, okay. And these are the security groups rule list. Inbound, outbound is, and because this one will work on based on your security group. For real time, you can never ever use the 000 slash. It will be this one you will use for only testing. Okay, let's go for here. See, we see here, DB2 instance are there. Okay, see one is available, other one is still creating. It will take some time to create it. Okay. So this is the endpoint, all the things will come once it's created. So you can monitor here is your, okay, whatever is done, that one we can see, you can monitor your databases here. See, this is the CPU utilization, this is buffer cache, okay, commit latency, commit throughputs. So this one will give the RDS itself, AWS itself will give CPU utilization, database connections, how many connections are there, those how much DB load, how much DB CPU, how many deadlocks happen. So engine uptime, everything it will do. Okay. So now if we see here, let me refresh again. So see here also it will see your connection, how much CPU is there, current activity. Okay, any maintenance we didn't give. So it will show none. So if we show your VPC, here you can see that your availability zones, multi-agent will be there. Okay. So this, see, if you see here, reasons two availability zones are there. So in database in real time, in development is not required. For example, if it is a production, you need for in availability zones are required because your database storage is required, right? It will not, if you give two availability zones, okay, multi-availability zones, it will keep your data will be safe. If it is one application, one reason also, one availability zone also down also, you can another availability zone, you can, it will work. Okay, this is about database. Okay, we'll wait for a few more seconds. Let it create this one. So one more catch. So for example, your database is clusters are connected means EC2 clusters are connected means. So this load balancer, you go here your load balancer based on your application, you will use that in whether is application load balancer or network load balancer. Once your database is connected, you can check this one. So it will be your RDS to connected here. So this is sample purpose. That's why I'm showing here. In real time, you will, if you log into your application, so your via you are log into your access key and DB login page, home page. Once you log in, that password is a ritual done from is the database only. Okay, this is about in RDS. Okay, this one, yeah, see now is creating, configuring enhanced monitoring. So almost is creating now. So if you see here, once created via load balance only, it will work. So your application is deployed in EC2 instances, your database is already stored in RDS. Okay, this is about in RDS. So you can create the proxies as well. So now is not required. So based on your requirement, your company requirement, you can do it. Still it's creating. I want to show is see here is the two instances. This what is the size we have used it. Serverless, 2 CPU, 16 vCPU, 16 GB RAM. Okay, see if you see here your CPU capacity, current activities, there is no current activity, that's why it's showing like this. So it is still it's creating, it will take some time. So once it's your, so backend will be your all the storage like database credentials, all the operation business related things done by in the RDS. For example, your tables and creating everything will be in the RDS. See now it's created, all the will be available. This is for reader instance. This is the writer instance. Okay. Only the few people only have the access in that right instance. Only whoever is the right person, those people only we need to give. And real time when you are configuring the you are calling to your application, it should give only your writer instance and not reader instance, sir. Okay. So see here your endpoint, your port number, your availability zones. Okay. Writer instance are there in the 1B. Reader instance are there in the reader is there in the 1B, and the writer will be there in that 1A, different availability zones. Okay, so you are publicly accessible. This is very important. It should not be access in publicly. Okay, your database always should be in the private. This is your certificate authority, your security groups, your monitoring, your logs and events here. Okay, this is our configuration. Encryption is the storage encryption is enabled. Access keys are will be storage keys. AWS KMS is enabled. Your retention period is the 7 days. Failover priority is the 1. Means this different availability zone also will be work. So this is your ARN. This is for in resource ID. You can see here is a created time, all those things, your DB groups and all. Okay. Okay, guys. So this is about in RDS. Okay, thank you all. We'll come to, we'll meet you on another next new topic.